Hello, everyone. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us for Mind Your Business Business Bites. We love to just sit with you and have this chat and give you information that's going to help you to build your business, to make it stronger, and just give you resources, tools, and individuals that can really help you become successful. So we're so glad you're here. Today, we have a very, very special guest, and I am sharing her with you. This is my own personal assistant. She is my executive assistant, and she is going to come on and talk to us about how executive assistants do streamline your business and what that looks like, some of the things that she does, and of course, how you can contact her because she does have some space within her portfolio. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you my personal assistant, Carla Nicole.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm excited to be here, Holly. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. So, Carla Williams is with Carla Nicole, and she has an executive administrative business. And so, we're going to dive into what that means. What's the difference between that and VAs? And then we're also going to talk about how does it really streamline your business? Because a lot of times when we think about streamlining our business, we think about automation, but there are other things that we need to consider. So I'm so excited to have Carla here with us today. So thank you, Carla, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Carla, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started your own business.
Absolutely. Well, I started my business maybe about 10 years ago, give or take. And it was because a friend of mine, she was having an event. So she asked me if I can help her. I said, absolutely. So I was helping do all of the admin stuff, doing the flows, connecting with the vendors, confirming, calling for sponsorship, and doing all kinds of admin stuff. Then at the very end, she was like, Carla, have you ever thought about turning this into a business? And I was like, a business? I can make money from this? She was like, absolutely. But this was years ago, before virtual or executive assistants were as popular. And I was like, I don't know. So then I started looking into it, and I realized that there is money to be made for something that I really enjoy doing. So I went on that road. I did my research, I took some classes, and I grew into a business that not only do I get to assist people, but I love it so much. So 10 plus years later, with 16 plus years of working with executive, here I am today. And I have the honor of working with one of my favorite clients slash friend slash sister, Holly. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. We wear many hats in the lives of each other for sure. So, Carla actually we started working together about 9 years ago,
Yeah.
right? About nine
Yeah.
years ago, maybe a little less, but she started working and helping us with the administrative functions
Right.
as we launched our church.
Right.
And so she worked with us. She became our executive admin for the church. And then as things changed and she moved, because she is in South Carolina. So as she moved, she transitioned to being my executive assistant for my business. And so I was so excited to have her join me on my business side because really she keeps me sane and keeps my crazy under control when we talk about business, right? So it was just a natural move. And I think
Absolutely.
one of the reasons that I selected Carla was, first of all, we had worked together for a long time and we were comfortable with one another.
Right.
I knew the work she did, I understood um, her challenges. We just had meshed and we worked very, very well together. And that was one of the most important reasons, is because I could trust her.
Right.
So I think that one of the things, as we dive into this a little bit, I want us to touch on is really, what is the difference? Because right now we can hire, I mean, I know companies that have a, a lot of virtual assistants, and they reach
Right.
out to me all the time. And they want, they want to know if I need support and different things. And I tell them, no, I have somebody. But what is the difference between hiring a virtual assistant and engaging with an executive assistant?
Well, the difference is a virtual assistant does task work. So you will give that assistant a task and they will do it. And it's like kind of going back and forth. They have a list of tasks, they have a list of duties, and they will do those duties. Hiring an executive assistant, we now have input. We can now have those bring them conversations. We can now connect. We can now have answers to your questions. Now we can connect the dots or give you more options for you to look at and just to consider. So that is the difference between an executive admin and a virtual assistant. They both can do great, amazing job, but it's just the level of it all. So I really, after so many years, I realized that I wanted more of a challenge. So I was like, let me try to put my input into place. And it really worked out because I have worked with C-suite executive as well as nonprofit. I have both of those underneath my belt. So I can clearly and confidently have a conversation where my input is not only considered, but it's also valued.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things that I enjoy is that we have the tasks, yet there are certain things that we strategize on.
Right.
So you allow, and when I say like she, keeps my crazy or my sanity, I'm a big dreamer. And so she helps me to do a lot of mind mapping, because I have to just, what I say is brain dumps, right? So we do brain dumps together.
Right.
And then next thing I know, Carla has it all laid out for me and is like, here's what we discussed. And now I can go in and prioritize, and I can look at it and say, oh, that's just kind of a dream for later. And
Right.
so she helps me organize the craziness in my brain and really
Right.
make it logical for what I want to do and where I want to go.
Right.
So that is very beneficial. And I don't think that, based on my experience or knowledge of virtual assistants, they really do that deep work. And two, because Carla knows me, she
Right.
knows where my brain might go. So she just lets me get everything out, and then she asks questions, right? And we work through it. So
And also, if I could just add,
yeah.
what you see, this face, is that what you want to see? So I am talking to you, I am writing, I will say things like, what does that look like to you? Because what it looks like to me might be totally different than what it looks like to you. So give me some kind of outline, give me some background, and just talk. I'm not really asking you for like a PowerPoint presentation. I just want you to talk, because then I can write up like, okay, they were going this way, because in my head I was like, well, maybe we can go this way. But the more you talk and the more you keep adding points to it, I was like, oh, okay, I see where you are going, and now I can create a written picture. So when we have the next conversation or after the meeting is over, I can gather those notes, and now I can present to you what you talked about for 15, 20 minutes. And I'll just sit there and I'll just keep writing, or because I want to get the best picture, and I want to present to you the best work that I could possibly can.
I love that. And it really works well for us in doing that. So Carla, what is one of your favorite things that you like to do in this space?
Oh my goodness, I have many, but one of my favorite things is project. I love project-based work because I can see the beginning and I can see the end. And I love that piece because working with some amazing entrepreneurs who are very much creatives, they see the beginning and they see the end. The part where I love and where I am needed and where I come in is the middle. So I'm working B all the way to Z, and I'm helping you get getting the due dates, getting the budget, getting the task, following up. Are you calling? Are you setting these goals? Are you setting the deadlines? Have you communicated with this person or that person? That's where I come in and I bring it all together so you can focus on the project as whole, and I am worrying about the details. So that's why I love it, and that's when I will give you options. Well, why don't you look at it like this, or have you considered this, or this is coming, and you really haven't gone really deep into this particular task yet. Do you want to go back, or do you want to maybe maybe like table that or not? So that's where I come in. It's a lot of communication and a lot of following up and following through.
Yeah.
So I love doing projects.
And she does an amazing job. So, for those of you that don't know, not only am I a coach, but I'm a speaker and an author, and I run conferences. So, I do have a women's conference that we put on every year for the faith based community. It is a Christian led conference that we do. And we are so excited about what we do there. But Carla helps me to manage that. So we have a team of 7, and out of our team of 7, Carla keeps all of us on track. And as you can imagine, 7 women, 7 ideas. We're all creatives. I have event planners on staff. I have social media marketing people on staff. I've got other admins that do more of I would say they're more like the virtual assistants. Right. Doing more of the administrative tasks, and Carla oversees the entire project. So when I tell you we know the work she's doing, I know firsthand. So she does help in that capacity and does an amazing job with that. And so what is one of the things that in your entrepreneurial journey you said after leaving corporate, I don't want to do that anymore?
Great question. And let me say, I will never say I won't do it again. I will not do it as much. Okay. And that is probably filing, digital as well as physical. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. It is very boring to me. So I don't enjoy digitally filing. I love being organized. I just don't like filing. So that is something that I would do. I would even hire a virtual assistant because that would be a task that I would outsource because it's something that takes a lot of time because you have to organize it and then you have to file it, whether it's in the digital file or a physical file. So that's something that I would outsource as an entrepreneur, that I would outsource that because I don't enjoy that task at all.
Yeah. I think one of the beautiful things about being an entrepreneur is you get to decide who you'll work with.
Absolutely.
Right. So,
yes.
So I know, Carla, that I am one of your clients. I do know that you have other clients. So how many clients are you willing to have in your portfolio with the level of attention that you give to us?
So I actually like to keep my client roster small because I want to give my clients the best possible results that I can. So I don't have a long list of clients, and thankfully I am glad that I chose that way because now I'm not burning out because outside of doing what I love, I have a family and I have to practice balance in every area. And I too like to go out and be with my family and my friends like everybody else. But if I'm doing everybody else's work, then I don't have time for my own family. So I keep my roster small because I want to give my clients the best results that I can. So for me, I keep it small and I really enjoy it. And that helps me to balance my workload effectively. And I know that we may even touch on that about how you and I work well together from early in the morning to late at night. We just have that great working relationship, and I would love to build that up with all of my clients.
Right. Yeah. So Carla and I have, it's been a work in progress, right? Because
Right.
you learn one another, life changes, business changes, needs change.
Right.
We are knee deep in our conference preparation season. So our conference is scheduled for March. So we are like heavy into our conference. So in doing that, we have to be mindful of other people's time. As I mentioned, we have 7 people, everybody's working on different things. So Carla and I have worked out a schedule that works for all of us. But then on top of that, I needed to make sure we're not just focusing our time together on the conference, but on other business things that we have going on. So Carla manages my calendar. She manages all of my speaking engagements. She absolutely handles all of those. Anything to do with my books, she manages all of that. So for me, it was, how do we find time where we have a consistent time on the books?
Right.
So you want to tell them what time we meet in the morning?
Right. So because we are both early birds, 6:15 a.m. works perfect for us. And it's not a long meeting. It's more of, I have her calendar and I'm going down different tasks. You have this and this and this. Okay, no, change this to this, do this to this. And then after we review her calendar, now we go over tasks. Where are you with this? I have to do this. So now we have that great quick. I mean, it's almost like, let's hit it and go. And we just have our marching order. So we begin at 6:15, and unless we get distracted by having personal conversation, we can usually end around 6:30.
Yeah.
And now we can go, and now Holly knows what she has to do. I know what I have to do, and we will meet again to follow up either within that day or the next morning. And it just works well for us.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And I think too, some of the times that we meet, so Carla and I specifically meet at 6:15 every single morning,
Yes.
except the weekends. We don't
Right.
meet on the weekends, but Monday through Friday. And that works really well for us. But because I do have speaking engagements over the weekend, if we need something for that or need to prepare for that, then that's part of our conversations as well.
Right.
And then when we meet with the conference, it's usually in the evenings.
Right.
So we'll still like 10 minutes and just go through our list of things that I needed to do urgently or things that we're waiting to hear back from people. One thing I will say, so if you are a coach, a speaker, anybody really in the creative space that has to book calendars a lot, Carla is amazing at that. She keeps it so organized. And she'll send me my calendar every morning. She's like, I'm not sure I know what this is. What is this? Or she'll call me throughout the day and go, when you're out of your meeting. And I'm like, that's a little
right.
nowhere.
I'm like, oh, I know. She's not available. I know.
People will call her and say, like, even my husband will be like, Holly's not answering. She's like, yeah, she's in a meeting and right? So we laugh about that because it really does help keep me organized with all the different things that I have going on. So with my speaking engagements, though, one thing that Carla's really good at is because she manages my calendar, she knows like, okay, Holly has a speaking engagement this weekend. So we're going to block some time on her calendar because she needs to prepare for that, even though Holly would book herself as normal days. Yeah. Carla thinks ahead and goes, we're scheduling some time.
Right.
And we're blocking your calendar so you can prepare. And so that's been very beneficial for me as well. Right. And she does travel with me. From time to time.
With you and have a good time. Yes. Yeah. And because I know Holly, it's easy for me to block her calendar off, her calendar off. But for new clients, I would ask, like, don't you need prep time? Don't you need some planning time? Don't you need some either planning time before and maybe like a debrief after. Like those are the type of questions that I would ask, because I know what it's like traveling. I know what it's like when you have all these things going on and now you have to focus on a particular piece. And if you are doing meetings or following up, then what part do you have just to plan without me? Like, I'm not always around Holly when Holly is planning. I'm not always around you. So I know that you need some time to really hone in and plan those out. And if you are meetings, following up, then what part do you have to plan? And because I know that, I just know that I can just block it off. And we have been together a very long time. So now it's like, why did you block that off? Oh yeah, planning is planning time. So that's how, it just works out. And those are the types of questions that an executive assistant would ask a client. Hey, like, how do you work? Are you email? Are you assign? Or like, what is your form of communication? Because that is key. And it doesn't have to be formal. It could just be a text or a phone call or a voice memo. It has to be something where we have that understanding about how each other works, and it will make a beautiful relationship because of it.
Yeah. I think one thing that makes it so easy. So, when we talk about streamlining your business, let me give you some examples. So, while I can say I use automation a lot with my business, right? I'm really big on it because I got to work with my clients on automation, figuring out different things that, does it work? Does it not? Do I recommend it? Do I not? So, I'm constantly reviewing technology and really working with new entrepreneurs to build out automations.
Right.
And so I do have automations. That is not the same as having streamlining your process through an executive admin. So for me, what that looks like is I say to Carla, I have been asked to speak, or sometimes the email goes directly to her. So if somebody reaches out and goes, how do I get in touch with you? I'll say, reach out to my admin. Then she deals with everything. But here's how she has streamlined the business. So she asked for it one time. And some of the time she doesn't even ask me. She goes to the marketing person, right? And says, can you send me Holly's headshots? This is the type of speaking engagement, blah, blah, blah. We have a contract. We have all of the things that have been created, and booking forms, booking fees, all of that is laid out. Carla does all of that. She manages those conversations. She sends them my media folder to say, this is what you can and cannot do. This is how you can use the information. Here's the picture she wants you to use. Like, she manages all of that. I never, ever talk to the people, even if I'm friends with them.
Right.
So I'm getting ready to be at a conference, and I just saw the host this weekend. And while we touched base quickly about it, like, are you set up? Where are we at? Da, da, da. Really, all the other conversations are between our admins.
Right.
So all we know is that they have the information they need. And then as they get more information, they touch base or however Carla manages that. Right. The way it's streamlined is that now Carla has a folder that has all of the important information for my speaking engagements. She has a media folder if it's something to do with my, my books. She has something else if it's business coaching. So she has taken what I do and she has put it and organized it for me in a way that if Carla is unable to assist me and I have to ask another admin on my team to support me, they know where to go to find the information to step in and really support. So that's what streamlining your business looks like. It's streamlining the things that you don't even think about. So every time I would have a speaking engagement, I'd get these like butterflies because I do a lot in the faith-based communities. So I speak a lot at churches. I preach. That's one of my biggest areas that I function in, if you will. And so for that, it's like heart work. So it was hard for me when they would ask about an honorarium or finances or anything like that. That's hard for me because that's my heart. Like any type of speaking, even business speaking, I would love to
Yeah.
be able to do it for free. And I
Right.
can't. That's my business,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So that's where Carla comes in. She has all of those conversations and she talks to them. And then she comes to me and says, look, here's the budget. What do you want to do? How do we want to do this? Right. And there are things that we work through depending on a lot of different factors.
Right. Absolutely.
And we just look at it and say, okay, here's the decision. She goes back and has those conversations. And
Right.
so, for those of you that find it difficult sometimes in those spaces, that is what an executive admin does for you. So now she's put my pricing sheet together. This is what it'll look like. Now
Right.
she can make decisions on my behalf because we've already laid out the groundwork.
Absolutely. And that is such a great point, because even though I know a lot, I still ask you, is it okay if I send it this way? Or I'll have her read the email prior to me sending it. Hey, because I want to make sure, because it is not me, that Holly is the face of her own company. I want to make sure that her face is represented in the best light. So therefore, many times I'll say, Holly, can you just read it? Or I'm thinking that you should do this. And Holly may say, no, I wanted them that way. Okay, because it's not my business. So because I don't take it personally, I take my job and I'm passionate about the work I do, but the decision making, that's Holly. And all I do is just give it. I remember one time I was doing your bio and I wanted to put pictures in, and Holly took these amazing pictures, but the bio was a faith-based, and I don't think I ever told you this. The bio was a faith-based bio, and your pictures, you had no shoes on. And I said, oh gosh. So I'm spending, like, I'm going through all these pictures, like, these pictures are beautiful, but because it was a faith-based, I felt that it wasn't appropriate for you to have a picture without any shoes on. So I just had to play with it. I cropped I think I just cropped your feet out, or it, like, the picture was just like allowed me just to crop your feet out. But certain things that I can do just to make her look as great as she can, because I never want anybody to not accept her because of what I've done. And that's big. So I mean, I spent a couple of minutes trying to find the best picture. Once I found a picture, I realized what your feet were in there, and I was like, oh gosh. So I just cropped it out and I just sent the picture, and it was like no harm, no harm, no harm. So I was happy about that. So
Right.
that is just the little things that as an executive assistant I can see and I can forecast, like, I don't think this is going to look good on this faith-based bio. And there's certain pictures we will send, and then I will ask before, like, Holly and I have, like, her contract with, like, things that she does allow, and one of the things is we just need to see the flyer. That is very important to Holly and to Holly's brand, because we want to make sure that Holly is in the best light. So I don't mind proofing the flyer and just giving it to her, like, hey, I think this is a great flyer. What do you think? Because it's all about getting to know the person and what they like and dislike. And as an executive assistant, AI can't do that for you. A physical person who's looking, who is looking at you either through some kind of technology or face to face will, like, tell you that. Like, I love what I do so much that I'm passionate about the little things that you may not realize until after the fact. That's my job, and I enjoy doing it, and I get to do it. So I'm excited.
Well, one of the things I will say to everybody is when you engage with Carla, she has an onboarding process that in my mind was very laborious and boring. But I am so thankful, right? I say that because I'm so thankful for her onboarding process. And one of the things that she does is she really takes time to learn your voice. Absolutely. The voice of your brand. So as some of you were on a couple of weeks, one of our videos, the branding specialist talked about your voice, right? The voice of your brand. And so I think it's critical to know your admin knows the voice of your brand.
Absolutely.
And she really, really works to maintain that. And so that is why she has her onboarding process the way she does. She's not just going to say, okay, give me all this access and not have things laid out. She had me send email examples. She had me send like my bios. She made me send all this stuff. And I was like, this is a lot. But I'm so thankful now because now I don't have to do that stuff. It's part of, it's almost like automation, right?
Right.
You have to input the information for it to automate. The same thing when you're streamlining using an executive administrator.
Right.
You need to be able to give them the information. So I know we are at the 30 minutes. We didn't even ask you guys if you had questions. I'm so sorry.
It was such a good conversation.
In the comment, it happens all the time. This is why sometimes we don't have 15-minute calls in the morning. But if you have questions, please post them in the comments.
Please.
We will come back to you. We will make sure that we answer them over time. So even if you're watching the replay, put #replay. We will follow and make sure that we are answering the questions.
Yes.
Let me just quickly add this here. So this is something that if you're saying, well, what exactly can she help me specifically with? Here's what she will do. And one thing I will say to you is that there is much more that she does. So I would schedule a free consultation with her. She does do free consultations. She wants to have that conversation. It's not AI generated. It's not just a text message.
No.
It is a conversation.
You will see all of me.
You will see her.
You will see me.
You will see her. And she really does an amazing job. And I'm excited that she does have capacity and can be shared. I will tell you that when my business continues to grow, more and more of her time, I'm hoping, will be spent with me. So get her now while she's still available. But this is how you can connect to Carla. And this is the true her. This is who she is, day in, day out, never changes. She is fun. We laugh. She's also going to start being a stand-up comedian. She just
gosh.
Yeah. But this is who Carla is. She loves to have fun. She loves business. She gets down to business. She's very professional. And she absolutely can support you with whatever you're needing support with. And she does also, I think, Carla, you plan in the next like 18 months or 24 months to hire some additional staff, right?
In the next 18 to about 20 months, I plan on hiring some people that would help me make my business more effective, and I can start being the CEO. As much as I love to work, and I'll still have a very few clients, but I will have people under me that I've trained and will be an amazing executive to some great C-suite executives. So I'm excited.
Me too. I'm so excited about your business. I'm excited about what you're doing. I'm glad that you have taken this route and that I've just watched you grow over the last 9 years, and it's exciting to see.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to work with you. You have been amazing, not only to me, but to my business. A plug, I went through Holly's Business Essential classes back then. It was on Saturdays, and I think we met for like 9 weeks. We met 12 weeks. and it was intense. And we had homework, but what I got out of that course, I still have today. So I know the things that we have done that have made my business more effective, and it has grown. So I am very much appreciative of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that plug. I will say this before we go, and I know we're over time. I'm so sorry. But I will say this. So I recently had an engagement, and I said to Carla, please use this on your social media. Please use it. I need to do it on Google as well. But I went to a speaking engagement, and I had not spoken to the host. I had not spoken to the admin. All I had done was spoke to Carla, and we got there, we got ready to go. And at the end of it, this woman asked another lady that was with me, assisting me that day. She said, "Are you Carla?" And she said, "No, Carla's in South Carolina." And she said, "Oh, well, I wanted to let you know that Carla made the process so easy for us. She had everything we needed. She was always available. She was so kind, so easy to work with. We wish everybody could have an admin like Carla. So thank you." And so I want to use this platform to say thank you. Thank you for making me look good. Thank you for making the business look good and the ministry. You've done a phenomenal job. And that is the greatest compliment I could receive.
Yes, I am honored. I love what I do. So that's why I'm always smiling. I'm always joyful, because when you love what you do, it really doesn't feel like work. Like the late hours, the early mornings, the trying to figure it out in your head so that you can put it on paper. I love all of it. So that's why I'm always happy. And this is just my personality always. Like I'm always joyful because I love what I do. And, I love to have the opportunity to work with some great, amazing people. So I'm
Absolutely.
excited.
Well, thank you, Carla, for being on here. Don't forget to set up your consultation with
Yes.
her if you need an executive admin. She is amazing. And I will say you absolutely get what you pay for.
Yes.
So I know it can be hard when you see these things, but I did share with all of you, I have vetted or worked personally with everybody that I'm bringing on. And most everybody actually I work with. So it's a great testimony to the fact that I know they'll do a great job for you. So awesome. Thank you guys. Don't forget to put your questions in the comments. I'm so sorry we didn't get to them. But thank you for joining us live today.
Yes.
We are going to have Melissa with Upside Total Solutions
Oh,
next
yes.
week. She is an amazing bookkeeper.
Yes.
Don't miss it.